This had to be the worst death imaginable. This was the entrance to the Nutty Putty Cave in Utah. It was known for its extremely narrow passageways, having a length of approximately 1,355 feet, and it was about 145 feet deep. A lot of thrill seekers would go through this narrow cave, but one man met his fate. That man's name was John Edward Jones, who was recently married and a father of one, his wife being pregnant with their second child. John was a kind soul. Everybody loved him. He had a bright sense of humor, and he took care of his daughter. He loved her very much. But sadly, he wouldn't get the chance to see his daughter grow up. At 8 p.m. on November 24, 2009, John and 9 of his friends decided to go enter the Nutty Putty Cave. Everything was going smooth for roughly an hour. They had made it so far in the cave, and they could have stopped. But John wanted to up the challenge and try going through a really narrow section called the birth canal. Unfortunately for him, he decided to be the first one out of the group to go. But it turns out he might have not entered the birth canal, but instead he accidentally entered a section of the cave called Ed's Push, a passageway that led to nowhere. But he kept pushing forward, inch by inch, until he couldn't go anymore. He had gotten stuck on part of the tunnel that was bent downward, leading him to be upside down. The area was about the size of an opening of a small washing machine, while John was about 6 feet and 200 pounds. John was stuck. He was 100 feet below the ground. His friends tried and tried, but they couldn't get him out. As much as John tried to wiggle, nothing happened. He couldn't budge. Every time the friends thought they were getting him out, he just slid in more. A rescue team was soon called in, and when they finally reached John, he said, "Thank you, but I would really like to get out of here." As the rescuers were able to see John's feet, they tried everything from oiling and lubing up the walls. They even tried drilling through the rock and hooking him up to contraptions to try and tug him out, and still nothing. At one point, they were able to pull him back up several feet, but the rope broke and he slid right back down. After 10 hours of suffering and being stuck upside down, John sadly died. Leaving behind his wife and kids, they had no choice but to seal up the passageway with John's body still stuck inside till this day. There's a memorial now sitting there for him, and that's not all. His wife has since moved on to a new man, but she will always remember the man who she shares 2 children with. Rest in peace, John.